Hello, this is Carrie Fell. Welcome to my studio. Okay, I'm trying something new here in my pan. It's low immersion, 100% wool, 3 warps that are 3 yards long, partial warps. These warps will be combined with other ones to make woven items. I mixed up the primaries, so I have a yellow and a blue and a, what's it called, rhodamine red, which is very pink. So I'm just going to, I think, squirt them on and see what happens. Technically, I should be able to add these 3 colors and end up with all the colors of the rainbow. Ha! On the white they'll be clear, and on this beige they'll be muted. That's the plan. Let's see what happens. I'm going to start with the yellow. Let's see. I'm going to see how strong it is and how much it spreads. Quite a bit. Don't mind the yellow spreading, but I think I'll put some heat on. The red. And the blue. So I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to let it heat up and set, and then I'll touch it, move it around, and add more color. Okay, about 5 minutes later, it's heating. Added a bit more yellow because yellow tends to get overpowered. This one, oh yeah, see, the other side doesn't have as much color. We want lots of color. Lots of red in this. Yellow. Blue. Blue is strong. And I think it is striking as soon as it hits. Not mixing up. Come on, blue. Blend. I think that color is looking a little more interesting now. Let it keep heating. Come back in another 10 minutes or so. Certainly looks like the pink is the slowest to jump into the yarn. Everywhere the water is pink. Okay. More pigment. I'll flip it one more time and see if we need more pigment. More yellow. I want lots of pigment, so I hope this doesn't make mud. Gonna let it heat up Then we're just going to leave it the way it is. And then see what colors we get. I have more warps to use with the same technique. Once I see what happens in this one, I'll know how to adjust things for the next batch that are now soaking. After letting it sit for a long time to cool down, there's still a bit of pink in the water. So I'm going to take this out, wash it, rinse it, and hang it up to dry. Okay, 3 more warps that will be combined with those first ones that I dyed. These ones are all an off-white color. Willow, a tweed, and I don't know, some beige color. Can't remember what it's called. So this time I'm heating it first. Very little water, getting some heat in it first. It's been soaked in citric acid and water, so there's lots of acid in here. Now it's got some heat. It's already starting to bubble. And so the idea is that the colors will strike sooner and maybe not mix quite as much as they did in the last one. So we're going to add the pink first. It's still spreading a little bit. Let's get this to set. See, I flipped it early in the last one. So I'm going to add the yellow, then I'm going to let it sit and absorb. Before flipping. Look at that rainbow. "20 minutes later, it was steaming and boiling and bubbling like crazy, even though it was on low. So, hot stove I have, I guess. Let's just see how much color is in the water. Ooh! A little pink, just like in the last batch. Just a bit of pink. This is more the color I was looking for. So now I realize I need to show restraint on how I layer it. So it's cooled and pretty much cleared of dye. The water is pretty much clear. Oh, a little bit of pink draining from it. That pink is stubborn. It doesn't set easily. Rhodamine red. So I'm happy with these colors. They're just scrumptious. Yes, look at that rainbow. So I'm going to wash this, hang it to dry, then we'll see if they pair up nicely with the ones that I dyed earlier. So I'm getting ready to warp my rigid heddle for another V-cowl. I'm kind of on a roll these days. Earlier you saw me dyeing some yarn, and one of the skeins that I was dyeing, one of the warp chains, was this here, which is a tweed. It's almost 100% wool. It's got like 3% something else. Where is it? There, 3% viscose, 97% wool. So this is part of a sale where I just bought odds and ends of cones of yarn of all different kinds. So this is very interesting yarn. It feels fairly thin when I'm winding it. And then as I dyed it, it really fluffed out. So this is all the tweed. So it kind of loosened up and fluffed out, but it took the color beautifully. So this is actually two different warp chains that I've looped together. One is very multicolor, this one here, and the other one is mainly blues with some greens and purples. So I'm just trying to get this a little more bluish. There'll be 12 strands of this navy, and then the weft will be more of this tweed that I dyed. This is the skein that I ended up with when I threw in all my leftover dyes in the pot. And then the last color that I threw in, after it absorbed the other colors, I threw in some twilight color, which is my new favorite. And so I get this dark blue with little, yeah, it's a tonal but cool variations in there. So anyway, this is the weft that's going to go across all this. Yeah, I'm just starting to warp it up now. Color, color, color. Oh my goodness. The colors in here are amazing. The weft is, the lighting's wrong. This is teal rather than this blue. But, oh, if I hold this back here, you can see the depth of the color. And all this was dyed with just 3 colors of dye. Look at the variation. I love this. I can't wait to see what this is going to look like off the loom. Oof. Off the loom and ready for wet finishing. Just look at the color. This is so exciting. I used 3 different dyes for this warp and came up with basically a rainbow. It's just beautiful. So off for wet finishing, and then we'll take a look at the finished piece once it's all dried and pressed. Eek, this is so exciting. It turned out to be gorgeous. I love this v-cowl. I have yet to snag one for myself. This just may be it. The colors, the drape, everything about it. I love it. Right now it's something like 30 degrees out, so much too hot for this. Can't even think about trying it on for myself, but come winter, this is going to be the coziest, warmest cowl with extra layers around the neck for warmth, right where you need it. I love this one. It's so hard to believe it started off as this tweed wool, turned into a beautiful tweedy cowl. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your notifications. I love to read your comments and will reply to your questions. This scarf and others are available on my online store. Please visit my website for more info. Thank you for watching.